Healthy hack. And the reason I'm starting with a healthy hack is because when we work with children with autism, if you have a child with autism, you need to put on your oxygen mask first. The demands are going to be greater than if you were working with children who are neurotypical. So as a result, you need to take care of yourself and you need to have a stronger capacity. So this is the collagen that I like to use, the Garden of Life collagen. Okay. I use this collagen because it dissolves very nicely into anything and it doesn't taste like anything. So what I tend to do, and maybe this is because I have ADHD, is I overeat. Like I eat until I'm stuffed. I eat till my stomach hurts. So to eat less, this is my trick. It really works. I add 1 scoop of this collagen to my food. So it dissolves really nicely. If I'm eating yogurt, I'll add a whole scoop. Now, a scoop has 70 calories in it, and it has 18 grams of protein. So that protein fills me up, and I eat a lot less. So if I'm making pasta with my miracle noodle, I like my miracle noodle. I add this to the sauce. It doesn't taste like anything. I'm full after 1 plate. If I'm making chicken curry, I add this to my yogurt chicken curry sauce, which is delicious. I only eat 1 plate of food and I'm full. So I suggest if you're like me and you overeat, which isn't a good thing because you have excess energy then that your body cannot process, that turns into fat and that turns into inflammation and free radicals. You don't want to overeat. That's not a good thing to do, even if it's healthy food. Go ahead and consider adding a scoop of collagen to your food. This brand, the Garden of Life, is going to dissolve really nicely and it doesn't taste like anything. So let's dive into today. I've been here before. I've failed. I've done it all wrong, in which the children are my own agenda stage. And I thought what I can do is I can change things through consequences, through willpower, and I can make it so that you're more cognitively flexible if I just kind of push harder, work smarter, instead of simply accepting this is where the child is. And I'm going to talk about how we can meet the children where they are when they're in that my own agenda stage. And these are children I'm talking about with Asperger's who have above average IQs, who know better, who are doing fabulous. I mean, who in all aspects look like everything's looking great, but everything has to be their way. There's no flexibility. So when I was working with these children in the past, I made the mistake of trying to use behavioral techniques such as token systems, such as reward consequences systems to hurry them along and to make them more cognitively flexible. And what was happening is they were not successful 80% of the time. These children were failing 80% of the time. I was not meeting them where they were. Instead, I was trying to put on a pre-imposed idea of this is how you should be at this time and place. So let's dive into this chapter and I'm going to cover 5 strategies that really do work. Ready? So lesson 29, take the good, ignore the bad. Ronan did as Ronan wanted. He was engaging and a joy to interact with as long as I was following his lead. However, the moment I tried to take any direction in the activity, Ronan would reliably burst into a huge tantrum and destroy the room. I was concerned. I worried about the next year. What would happen when Ronan, in a kindergarten classroom of 25, had to follow someone else's lead? Ronan simply did not have the flexibility to renegotiate his desires with others. My concern, however, was misdirected. I was concerned about the future and not about Ronan in this current moment. Okay. In the past, I personally have thought that I could fast forward growth through sheer efforts and willpower in preparing a child for entry into today's increasingly demanding kindergarten classrooms. I believe that a system of processes and consequences could result in a child quickly changing their behaviors and learning to follow others' leads. Unfortunately, what resulted from my overdiligence was a child with a broken spirit. As human beings, We need to be successful 80% of the time. If we aren't successful 80% of the time, we are in danger of having broken relationships. So the research and the sociological research shows that couples that are not positively interacting 80% of the time are at risk for divorce. Friendship relationships that are not 80% positive, 80% of the time at risk for breaking up. That's just what we need. We need 80% positive interactions in any relationship you have in your life, and children with autism are no different. So many children that I've worked with over the years have not only failed to be successful 80% of time in the school setting, but also failed to make 80% criterion in any area of their lives. This leaves the child in a hole that is difficult to get out of. What makes it so hard? One, the demands exceed the child's current capacity. Two, the child is self-identifying as a failure through repeated negative experiences. And three, the expectations are lowered for the child due to past experiences, resulting in the self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead of passing these children through a conveyor belt with predetermined settings, we need to individualize our expectations, interactions, and responses based on the individual child. The first goal is to get any child at a minimal 80% success rate at home and at school. We can do this by meeting the children where they are. From there, gently and slowly fade in demands, continually ensuring an 80% minimal success rate. To boost the positive interactions, give directions preferential to the child, directions that the child actually wants to do. Another thing we can do is we can make a concerted effort to acknowledge more of the child's neutral behaviors and pro-social behaviors. So ask the child to help with tasks that are preferential to the child. As the old adage states, catch the child being good. When the child is refraining from engaging in problematic behaviors, provide objective encouragement. I like the way that you're keeping your hands to yourself. All right, you're standing and waiting so patiently. I really appreciate your patience. Focus on changing just one behavior at a time while ignoring the more trivial ones. So here are 5 high five tips to put into practice today to up the level to 80% positive interactions for these kiddos. Number 1, create an environment that ensures that the child can be minimally successful 80% of the day. Number 2, use planned ignoring of behaviors that are not harming the child or harming others. Number 3, prevent aggressive behaviors by removing the triggers, the challenging activities, or the changing routines. These challenges can be reintroduced at a later time with a record of 80% success. Number 4, provide objective encouragement liberally. Lay it on like frosting on a 7-layer cake. For example, vocally, gesturally, high fives, acknowledging specific behaviors and efforts. The research indicates that gestures, the thumbs up, a high five, a fist pump, these are more effective than words. So go ahead and get your gestures out and give a lot of encouragement. The more, the better. With young children, there's absolutely no such thing as too much objective encouragement. We're not talking about praise, we're talking about objective encouragement. And number 5, actions speak louder than words. A high five for the child to participate, for positive participation, is more powerful than verbal acknowledgement. So just coming over and giving a high five and not saying anything is more powerful than you saying, I like the way you're keeping your hands to yourself. So physical actions are more powerful than words. So I want you to take all of this information, roll up your sleeves, do what you do each and every day, make the world a better place, one child at a time. We are at the finish line. Thank you so much for being here with me. Friday is going to be lesson 32. We'll have finished the whole book. So I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Adios.